The swords were flying. I was dodging and blocking the blows, but I was barely able to keep up with this 5-year-old's swings. I was beginning to feel overwhelmed. In this whirlwind of energy, all my brain was registering was, protect myself, protect myself, protect myself. Seconds later, I felt something hard hit my head. The pain brought me back to the moment, and I immediately knew it wasn't the sword he was using. Without the ability to block out an authentic response, I sank to the floor with tears welling in my eyes and blurted out, "I'm scared." This little boy, who was a witness and victim of domestic violence, looked into my eyes, put down his weapons, and crawled into my lap. He began to gently rock back and forth, saying, "Me too, me too." In that moment, I finally understood his world. I felt it at my core. In my session with Carlos, when the sense of overwhelm got to be too much, I lost my ability to stay present. I emotionally flooded and checked out. It was the blow to my head that brought me back. The shock and pain was so intense that I wasn't able to block out my authentic response. And when Carlos saw me sink to the floor with tears in my eyes, he knew that I was being real and that I understood his fear. In fact, that moment changed the course of our therapy together. His trauma play integrated and diminished significantly, and the relationship between us deepened to a level that I had not been expecting. The experience also led me into a deep inquiry regarding aggressive play, boundaries, and therapist self-care. Through my roles as a supervisor and teacher, I've heard hundreds of therapists' stories about their confusion and emotional struggles regarding aggressive play. They've also told me about the physical pain they've endured trying to help some of their child clients. I've heard stories of sessions filled with play containing sword fights, being killed and left to die, being handcuffed and locked away, explosions, dismemberment, injured babies, sexual intrusion, and physical abuse. Whenever I teach workshops on this topic, I ask participants to raise their hands if they've ever been hurt or thought they were going to get hurt in a play therapy session. Each time, over 90% of the audience raises their hands. I've listened to therapists questioning their role in the playroom, whether or not they want to be play therapists, and more importantly, questioning themselves. I get it. I've struggled with these dilemmas too. When I first became a play therapist, I discovered that I had the capacity to work with high levels of trauma with both non-directive and directive approaches. But no one taught me how to avoid absorbing the high level of intense energy that comes from being a part of or witnessing this type of play.